Hello guys, this is Pearl and today I am super excited to give you a tutorial on layout. So first of all, we are going to learn what a layout is, and secondly, we are going to learn what a margin is. The third thing we are going to do for today is also get to know what a padding is and the difference between a margin and a padding. Now the fourth thing we are going to explore today is how to copy a design or a style from one element and duplicate it onto another element. Now the last thing, which is the fifth thing we are going to do today, is how to use rows and also how to resize columns when it comes to rows, or how to align each and every individual columns vertically in a row. So let's get started. So right now I have my background and this is my paragraph. So I want to edit whatever information that is in here. So I'm just going to type in or just copy and paste whatever information I want to put. Now let me move this element to the center. Now first of all, what is a layout? A layout simply means the visual arrangement of the element in your editor. Okay, a layout is the visual arrangement of the element in your editor. Now we are going to start with margin. Okay, what then is a margin? A margin is simply the line spacing around your element, but outside of the element. Okay, so when I zoom in, you can actually see that this space at the top right here is my upper margin. Okay, now the space at the bottom right here is the lower margin. Now the space to my left hand side right here is the left margin. Now the space also to my right here outside my element is the right margin. Okay, so that is what a margin is, the space around your element but outside of it. Okay, now let's quickly locate the margin panel to see what happens to our element right here if we play with the panel, or if we increase the size of each and every margin. Okay, so right here is the margin panel. Okay, but for you to make changes to this element right here, you first have to make sure that the paragraph is selected. So you select the paragraph, then come and change or come and play with the margin panel right here. So let's get into it. My text or my element is already selected. I locate margin right here and I increase the margin at the top. As you can see, as I increase the margin at the top, the space over here is being increased by the number here, which is 58. So there's been an increase of margin or an increment in margin of 58 at the top margin. Now when I increase the margin to my left, it will also move for me, or it's going to give me a margin of 58 at the left hand side. Okay, at this left hand side right here is the margin. Now let me increase the margin to my right. Okay, I'm going to increase the margin to my right, and it's also equally going to increase the margin to the right for me. So as you can see, this space has been increased by 58 as well. So let's increase the margin at the bottom. Now as I increase the margin at the bottom, you can't see any changes being effected to the element right here. That is because for you to be able to see the visibility of the margin at the bottom, you have to add an element. The margin has been added, but you can't see it because nothing is at the bottom. So let me just drag and drop any template at all. So I drag and drop the title template. Okay, now let me select this particular element again. Now as I increase the margin again, you can actually see that the heading template is being moved down because I'm increasing the margin, and when I decrease the margin, the heading template is going to move up. Okay, so now that is how margins work, and that is how to apply a margin to your work or apply a margin to your element. So the margin is the space around your element. So all these are margins, all these space right here are margins. Now let's move on to what a padding is. Okay, a padding is simply the space inside your element, the line spacing inside your element but around it. Okay, so the line spacing at the top of your element but not outside, inside. So right here is the upper padding, right at the bottom here is the lower padding, then to my right here is the left, to my left right here is the left padding, and to my right here is the right padding. Now let's also select this entire element right here and let's locate the padding panel. Okay, now let's delete this because we wouldn't be needing it again. So let's just delete that. Now let's select again and locate the padding. So padding is right here. Okay, so let me just increase the padding at the top to see what happens to my element. So as you can see, there's been a padding space, or there's been a padding of 32 at the top of my element. Now let me increase the padding to the left. You can actually see that my element is moving towards the right because I am increasing the padding to the left hand side. Now when I increase the padding to the right hand side, there's going to be a right padding as well. Okay, a right padding, and it's also going to increase to whichever number I increase the padding onto. Okay, now let's increase the padding at the bottom. Okay, and it's going to, sorry, I was decreasing it instead. Now it's also going to increase the padding right at the bottom for me. Okay, so that is how to apply margins and paddings to your element. And never ever forget that the margin is the line spacing outside of your element. So right here, outside of your element, and the padding is the line spacing around your element but inside the element. I hope that is clear. Now the last thing we want to explore for today is how to use rows and also how to resize the columns of a row. So now let's explore that by dragging and dropping a row template. Okay, so this is a row template. Now for the difference or the differentiation to be clearer, I want to quickly change the color of each and every column. So I'm going to change column 1, column 2, and column 3. But this entire template or this entire element right here is a rose. So let's quickly change the background color. Okay, I have changed the colors of each and every column, and now it is clearer now. So we have column 1, we have column 2, and we have column 3. So now what I want to do is that, okay, I want to select the entire row. So this individual boxes right here are columns, but I want to select the entire row. So I can just come right down here, beneath here, and click on row and select the entire row. Okay, or I can just go to navigation and select row. So navigation, then select row. Now the next thing or the next step I'll take is to go to the property panel right here. Now when I open up the property panel, you can actually see that what I have selected has opened right here for me. So now I have column 1. So this represents column 1, column 2, and column 3. Now you can also decide to add additional columns by clicking on this add item right here, and it's going to add additional columns for you depending on what you would want to do. Okay, now when it comes to Speedwapp, okay, when you click on this box right here, okay, this little box right here, what happens is that when you click on it, this box is going to appear. Okay, this box right here, this flex box is going to appear, and this is what we are going to be working with. So the 12 simply means that it's going to give you a full width. Okay, the 12 simply means that you are going to have a full width column and not divided into sections like this, or not divided into small bits this way. So when I click on 12, you can actually see that it has given me the full width. So this is the full width. 12 gives you the full width of a column. Now when I come to the second one and I click on 6, you see that it will give me half of the column. Now when I go to the third one and I click on 3, it will just give me 1/4 of it. Okay, so now that is how to apply column or to change your rows vertically to become a column. So you can just decide to change this as well to 12. You can also decide to change this as well to 12, and also change the last one to 6. So that is how to change your rows into, or how to incline your rows vertically and not have it horizontally. Okay, and I hope it's easy and very clear as well. Now that brings us to the end of today's tutorial, and I'm very grateful you stuck with me, or you stayed with me from the beginning to the end. Now if you want to learn more about website creation, and if you want to learn more about web design, all you have to do is to click on the subscribe button, and we will always come your way with something educative and something unique and something you can pick up to add up to your creative skills.